Hello everyone, this is for section 2.2 for Algebra 2. Want to do some basic definitions and try and explore a little bit of the misconceptions that kids have about slope. You have to rely on this basic definition, even up through calculus, rise over run. It's how much you're rising, up or down, over how much you're running side to side. That's the basic definition of slope. So, using this one, if I go from this point to this point, I'm going down 2 values. So the rise is I'm falling 2, and then running 1, 2, 3. So your slope is negative 2/3. This one, I would go from this point to that point. I would rise 2, and then run 1, 2, 3. What you need to see from these two numbers is any line that's going down is going to have a negative slope. All lines that go down, all lines that are downers, are negative. All lines that go down, as you read from left to right, are going to have a negative slope. All lines that go up are going to have a positive slope. No matter how steep or how shallow. If it's going up as you go to the right, it's going to have a positive slope. So you can watch for that and try and catch any mistakes that you have doing the arithmetic when you get the formula for this. If you look at your line and it's going down and you ended up with a positive number, you know you screwed it up somewhere. So go back and find your mistake. All right? Any line that's going down is negative. Any line that's going up is positive. These two kids always have difficulty with. To understand this, you guys have to have a basic fraction sense. Say I have 1/3. So if you want to think of it in terms of like a pie, you've got a pie cut in 3 pieces. You have 1 of 3 available pieces. I have 1 of 3 available pieces. All right? So I'm going to refer back to that in just a second. What are you rising from this point to this point? You're not. What are you running? 1, 2, 3. Well, if I have no pieces of 3, how much do I got? 0. Now, 0 and none. This is something that kids are chronically making mistakes on. So I need you guys to be aware of it and no longer make that mistake. 0 is a number. It is a value. None is, there isn't one. There is no solution, no answer. Oops. No answer means none. 0 is an answer. It's a number, it's a value. It doesn't mean you don't have one. It means its value is 0. Okay? You can never write no slope or none. It doesn't make sense. All lines have slope. This line just happens to have a slope of 0. Okay, that's fine. It tells you that it's horizontal. All horizontal lines, no matter where they're drawn, are going to have a slope as of 0. Because to go from one point to another point, you're not rising, but you're running, which is worth 0. I will never accept an answer like this because I need to know, do you know what that's worth? In this case, it's worth 0. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0. When it's inevitable, you're going to forget this. Draw one and use the idea of rise over run. Well, what am I rising? Nothing. What am I running? I don't know. 7. It's worth 0. If you don't remember what this is worth, type it in your calculator. Go 0 divided by 7, and it will tell you 0. The calculator knows it, so if you don't, at least have the presence of mind to type it in your calculator and let it figure it out. Okay? Now this one, rise, how about 1, 2, 3? I'm rising 3, but what am I running? 0. Can you have 3 pieces of nothing? No, you can't. If you type this in your calculator, it's going to tell you error. Why? Because you can't divide by 0. This slope is undefined because you can't divide by 0. Again, it doesn't mean none. It doesn't mean no answer. It means I can't tell you what it is because it's not definable. It's undefined. It means you're dividing by 0, so it means it's a vertical line. Again, no answer and no slope doesn't make sense. All lines have slope, including this one. It just so happens you're dividing by 0, so I can't tell you what it is, but it still has a slope. You're rising 3, running none. Okay, so really try and ingrain that, memorize it, instill it in your head. All vertical lines have an undefined slope. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0. They don't have no slope. They don't have, I've already gone through that. Okay, I'll get off that horse and keep moving. All right, this is the formal definition for slope. It's the difference in your y values, because y's on your graph go up and down, x's on the bottom because x's move you side to side. When you look at a graph, the vertical axis is y, the horizontal axis is x. It's how much you're moving up to down over how much you're moving side to side. To find slope, I think you're going to see me make arithmetic mistakes all year long. When I do it, I go ahead and write this fraction bar with a subtraction in it already. Then I put the y values on top, the x values on the bottom. It's just to fill in the blank. 4 minus 2 is 2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. You're done. Fraction bar, 2 subtraction signs. 2, 4, 1, 1. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. So you write undefined. Wait, why did I write a 1? I have no idea. Oh my goodness. See, I told you I'd make arithmetic mistakes all over the place. Good gravy, I can't even fill the numbers in right. Negative 3, so that goes positive 2/3. Alright, glad somebody's awake. 2, 2, negative 1, 2. So that's 0 over negative 3. Okay, that's worth 0. Alright. This one, negative 2, 2, 2, 2, negative 4 over 0. This one's undefined. Sorry, my U looks like a 0 or an O. Alright, fix that quick. Sorry about the mistake back here. Alright. How to handle one when you're doing fractions on your calculator? Well, 7/5 minus 9/5 over 3/2 minus a negative 1/5. Alright, so that's going to go plus. You guys can type this in your calculator from start to finish if you do this. Put a parenthesis around it. So that's just 7 divided by 5 minus 9 divided by 5 in a parenthesis. Divide. So you hit the division symbol. I guess I shouldn't put that because you don't have that symbol on your calculator. Divide, another paren. 3 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 5. Hit enter, and there it is. It'll tell you. Now, it's going to give you a decimal, so then you hit math, and then enter, enter. Hit enter twice. Oops. And it will give you a fraction. Okay? So the calculator can handle that for you. No need to get common denominators and go crazy doing all that stuff. Just type it right in your calculator. Alright, now problems like this are saying find the value of k so the line through them has a given slope. Now before I start, I just need to review this with you. Say you have 5/3 is equal to x over 7. This is called a proportion, when you have one fraction equaling another fraction. One way to solve this is the only time you cross multiply. Doesn't matter which direction you start. 3 times x is 3x. The equal sign is still there. 7 times 5 is 35. Divide by 3. You have x is equal to 35/3. It doesn't matter where the x is. If I have 5 over x is equal to negative 2 over 11, cross multiply. Negative 2x equals 55. Divide by negative 2. And you have x is equal to 55 over negative 2. Okay? This is a proportion. You cross multiply. So here goes. To find the slope using these 2 points, you put the y values on top. 6 and k go on top. K k, and 2 go on the bottom. This is slope. Well, what is that worth? They tell you it's worth 2. If you want, put it over 1 to help you see it. That's what this has to do with why I went there. Now cross multiply. That's 2 times all of that equals 6 minus k. Distribute the 2 inside. 2k minus 2 is equal to 6 minus k. How about add the k to the other side? 3k minus 2 is equal to 6. Add the 2. Give me a second, move the screen down. 3k is equal to 8. Divide by 3. K is equal to 8 thirds. Okay? And it doesn't matter where the variables are in this thing. If you guys had, I don't know, k plus 3 over 2 minus k is equal to a third. I'm just making this up. It's so here the k's was second on the top, first on the bottom. Now I switched them. It doesn't matter, you guys. Cross multiply. 3 times everything upstairs. 3k plus 9 is equal to 1 times all that is 2 minus k. And then solve it just like I did here. Okay? But you set it up as if you're finding the slope, even though it has a variable in it. And then set it equal to the slope that they tell you that it's worth. I understand that it's different. You haven't ever seen one like it. But understand that it is pretty straightforward. I'm not trying to diminish if you don't get it or you're having trouble with it. I'm just saying, take a deep breath, step back, and just use the definition of slope. And then let it equal whatever it is the slope that they're telling you. If you need to put it over 1 and then cross multiply, do that. Okay? I think that's the last slide. Yep, there you go.